Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I thought I would do something a little bit different today, a little bit more casual, no tripod, just a handheld camera. I thought I would walk around the house and tell you about a few of our favorite thrift store finds. And the more I started thinking about all of the thrift store finds that we have that I could tell you about, I realized we have a ton. So today I think I'm going to focus just on furniture. If you want others, let me know in the comments. I could do things like art, lighting, little other decorative accents. But anyway, I am just gonna walk around the house, tell you about a few of our favorites. I actually had a home tour photo shoot today, so the house is already clean. So let's just start in the dining room. I'm gonna turn you around now. So starting in the dining room, I thought I'd talk about this table, which came from Galaxy Modern, which is more of an antique dealer than a thrift store. Well, it's definitely not a thrift store, it's really fancy. But we love this table. It's something we got right when we moved into the house. Up until this point, we always had like hand-me-down dining room tables. So this one feels like much more adult. We love the tapered legs. And if you get down here, you'll see the braces down underneath. That's so you can kind of flip down the ends of the table to make it a little bit smaller, but we like having it sort of full size. It came with a few leaves too, but this is definitely one of our favorite antique secondhand finds that we have. Moving past the dining room table, we have this console that we picked up for about $250 from an antique store in Charlottesville called Circa. And it was one of those things where I was at the cash register picking up a few other odds and ends and happened to spot this out of the corner of my eye at the register, and I saw the price tag and it said, I could see like the words or the numbers $250, but I definitely thought it was going to say $2,500, but when I got closer it said $250, so there was no way that we were leaving the store without it, and it's one of our favorite pieces in the house. It's nice and low and long and has lots of really good storage, and right now we're using it for like dining room china hutch storage, and it's huge. We love it. The cool thing is that we didn't really have to do anything to it. It's already a nice wood finish to it, and we didn't have to paint it. Lord knows we would never paint something this pretty. But yeah, we really, really love it and don't have any plans to do any kind of DIY treatment to it because it's so pretty already. Swinging back over to the living room, we have a ton of thrift store finds that we love in here, starting with this teal chair. It used to be a really kind of grody orange tweed that the cats had sort of destroyed. So we had it recovered after a few years of loving it in this really nice teal indoor-outdoor sunbrella fabric. The cats have a lot of trouble getting their claws into it, so it has stayed really nice. They've tried, and there are a couple of marks, but hopefully we can keep it looking nice for a really long time to come. We love the blue color. Next, I wanted to talk to you about this two-tone cabinet. It is actually a china hutch, and there is a shelving unit that goes up on top of it normally, but we decided to take it down so that we could have a little bit more white space on our wall. Right now the shelving unit is just sitting in the basement in storage, but for now we're loving the cabinet just by itself. It already came painted two-tone like this, so that was really nice. One of our favorite things about this is the cool cutout design on the front. I think the white paint sort of helps accentuate that, and you can actually use them as the handles. That's what they're intended for. So you can open the doors using the cutouts, which is really cool, in the drawers. So this piece was a little bit of an investment. It was $500, which frankly, now that I know a thing or two about antique shopping, it's probably more than maybe it's even worth, especially since it's been painted, but we still love it. I got this sofa on Craigslist for I think about $450, and it originally had this kind of yucky brown tweed covering on it, which was fine for a while, but after a few years we were able to invest in the new leather finish, and so we had it reupholstered in leather about a year or two ago, and now it's kind of like the show-stopping piece in the whole house, which is really nice. This coffee table is one of the very first things that John and I ever picked up together from a thrift store. I think it cost less than 40 bucks. It's a handmade piece. It's signed on the bottom, which is super cool, and it's all tiled on the top. So it's a wood base and a tile top, which makes it pretty much indestructible. And we really love the retro sort of 70s style of the tile, but it's a really sturdy, substantial piece of furniture, and I hope we have it for a really long time. So moving back into my office now, I wanted to talk about my desk. I have always been in love with these like oversized tanker type mid-century desks. And I found this one for, I want to say $100, maybe less. I convinced John to help me grab his truck and we went and picked it up. I love the cool metal hardware on it. It just feels like something that would have been in some like fancy CEO's office or something like that. It's just huge. Let me go from the side so you can kind of see just how deep it is. So it's a really substantial desk, really heavy, but lots of really good storage too. So this is another favorite of mine. Swinging around to this side of the room, we have this dresser. This is a dresser that I use to store things like office supplies and also has the cat food up top, so ignore that if you can. But originally this dresser was sort of an ugly light blonde wood color, very kind of 80s or 90s. So I sanded the whole thing down, painted the outside of it white. I had the drawers also sanded down so that I could stain them a dark wood color, and then I used a stencil to do a herringbone pattern on the front. And I just really love how it turned out. It just gave it a lot more personality. And it was actually the first feature I ever had in a magazine, so this will always have a special place in my heart. It was featured in the I Did It column in Better Homes and Gardens, and it was such a pinch me moment and something I'll always celebrate, so I don't think I'll ever be getting rid of this dresser. Moving on to our bedroom, I wanted to show you this dresser. So this dresser also used to be all wood toned. I had painted the outside of it white several years ago before we moved here. Then I painted this faux paneled wall, and even though the outside of the dresser was white and the drawer fronts were wood, it still just felt like a lot of wood tone. So I very recently repainted the drawer fronts white to sort of match the rest of the outside edges of the dresser, and I just think it brightens it up so much and it makes it pop off of the faux wood wall. This piece I think was about $150, so definitely not a huge splurge, and I actually really love the original brass hardware. I think it kind of looks like that white mid-century inspired West Elm piece that everybody seems to have, and I definitely almost bought it. So I'm really glad that I was able to kind of get the look with an inexpensive thrift store find. So finishing up our tour of favorite furniture thrift store finds, I wanted to talk about our bar cabinet. And by the way, please say hi to Tonks the cat. She just laid down in my shot, but I guess we'll just leave her there because she's super cute. Anyway, this piece was from Stanton, Virginia, which is about a 25-minute drive away from us. They have a bunch of different antique stores there, so we love to go there on the weekends. And I was looking for something to replace our bar cart with. We had an open shelf bar cart before, but I started to feel like everybody had a bar cart. And don't get me wrong, I love them. I think they're pretty in people's houses, but I just wanted to kind of set our house apart a little bit. So we ended up getting this enclosed cabinet, which actually functions a lot better than the old bar cart because it's enclosed. So there's no dust to deal with, and I love that it's a great place for us to store glasses and pitchers, and of course our liquor collection too. But I just think it looks really nice. It was really inexpensive and just sort of makes a great statement in our living room. So that's kind of it from me today. I honestly have quite a few more that I could show you, but this video is already getting kind of long and I don't want to bore you. If you want to see more, feel free to leave a comment down below, or if you want to see other things like art or light fixtures, things like that. Again, just shout me out down below and I will work on putting together something else for you. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'd love for you to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you guys in my next video.